we already know what is CPR. The three lines together, the top CPR, bottom CPR and the pivot point, they comprises of CPR, right? When we dig deeper into CPR, we found out that the width of CPR also tells a lot to us about market condition. So we divided the example into two. The first one is wide CPR and the second one is thin CPR. The difference between two is very simple. The distance between the lines, the top CPR, pivot point and bottom CPR is less in thin CPR, as we can see in this diagram, and the distance between wide CPR is more, as we can see in this diagram, right? This one we'll talk in the next slide. Right now we are focusing on wide CPR. When we talk about wide CPR, like this one, the distance between the 3 points, top CPR, pivot point and bottom CPR is more, right? And it comes with a characteristics. So let us understand what are the characteristics of wide CPR. Point number one, whenever we see a wide CPR, there is a high probability that it will be a sideways market today or a flat market. There is a probability. It is not a surety, right? Point number two, wider the CPR, the more wide is the CPR, more strong support and resistance it will provide to price action candles, and it will be harder for price action candles to penetrate. Obviously, when there is a strong support and resistance given by the CPR, the price action candles will be finding it very difficult to penetrate, and it will stay inside the CPR only, giving a sideways market. Yeah. Point number three, mostly the second half of trading session, which is like 12 to 3:30, is afternoon session. We call it post noon session, and the morning session starts at 9:15 till 12 o'clock. So the third point is saying mostly the second half of trading session, which is from 12 till 3:30, the CPR becomes weaker and it gets easier for price action candles to penetrate. It is easier for price action candles to penetrate because the CPR gets weaker in the afternoon session. So here is a chart explanation for a wide CPR. We are looking at Nifty 50 indices 3 minutes time frame, and here you can see the CPR width. It is quite a big CPR if you compare with this one, and as per our study, we say when we see a wider CPR, there is a high probability that market will be sideways, and this is what has happened actually. Market actually opened and started going up, faced some resistance here, came down, support from the wide CPR, and it actually could not breach any levels and stayed flat throughout the day. Keeping our analysis intact, we will take this as a flat day, and whenever we see a wide CPR or a wider CPR, sometimes you call this as a wide CPR, and sometimes you will see this size CPR also, and sometimes you will see exceptionally moderate CPR, but it is wider than normal days. So bigger the size of the width, stronger is a probability that it will be a sideways market. Yeah. Thick CPR means flat day. Not always. Such days usually appears after trending days. We have seen this trend that after a trending day, what is a trending day? When the market is going in certain direction, up or down. After a trending day, usually a sideways market comes. Again, with a probability, it is not a surety, but usually. So this was the case study of wide CPR.